All right, welcome everyone to Awakening Spiritual Intelligence. Today's theme is gratitude, and I'm going to hand it over to Yosi Amram, our host for today.
Thank you. You're my co-host. So we're co-hosts. We're partners in crime here, Pauline. I'm
Oh, thanks.
grateful. Wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Happy to be here.
Thanks. So welcome, and thank you all for joining us today. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here in community and with all of you to discuss and practice gratitude. So let's see, in this moment, is there some gratitude that we can feel, that I can feel? Yeah, I'm grateful for my feet and the floor under me and my breath and this body that's enabling me to be here and speak and see and so on. I'm grateful for each of you. It's actually when I take in the fact that, we all have many things to do and many opportunities to where to spend our time and energy, the fact that you're here supporting this work for helping awaken greater spiritual intelligence in yourself and the world, practice more gratitude and kindness, helps us all really build a better world. So, it makes me feel connected and supported and part of a community of human souls that care about this planet, about our state, and want to spread goodness. So if I take that in, my heart feels warm. And so you can see if there's something for you that you might be grateful for right now. So, yes, Pauline said our theme for today is gratitude. We have Thanksgiving coming next week, so that's partly why we're doing this. But we hope to take this a little bit into a deeper level and explore it a little more thoroughly so you can enjoy a great Thanksgiving next week and every day and live with the attitude of gratitude, as they say. So, gratitude is a huge blessing, and science and research tells us that people who practice gratitude are happier. Their immune system is improves. They feel less lonely, more connected, and long-term gratitude practice is associated with improved immune functioning, lower cortisol, and better cardiac health and increases resilience and ability to bounce back from setbacks and greater psychological flexibility and all kinds of good things. Uh, so we all sort of, I'm sure you've heard this many times, and I think most people have heard this, but yet most people still don't practice gratitude. So, the reality is we have many problems, and who has time to count our blessings? And it's kind of, I'm busy is the usual thing, and we rush to our phone or whatever it is. And so we can't afford the time, so to speak. But how can we afford not to? We need resources to address all these problems, all these challenges. And I think most of us have plenty of challenges and many problems, and it can easily overwhelm us. So gratitude is a great resource that gives us the emotional fuel, the strength, and power to tackle our challenges. So how's that for a sales pitch so far? Okay, let's go deeper and unpack this a little more. So, why is this hugely important? And because of something basic that's called our brain's negativity bias. So, neuroscientists tell us, and psychologists tell us that due to evolution, we are sort of pre-wired to look for danger and problems. That's great in helping us survive in the jungle, in the danger of nature, where there might be a tiger or a snake or a lion hiding behind the bushes. And we need to be alert. And that alertness, that vigilance helps us survive. We look for those signs of danger and we can escape. And that's wonderful. So there's good reason we have this vigilance and anxiety, and we don't want to necessarily get rid of that. I don't recommend to my client that we resist or try and avoid or get rid of our anxiety. We rather engage it and ask it what it's trying to tell us. Problem is that we live in a world most of the time where we don't have survival threats. And while this negativity bias and the way our biology works with spiking up cortisol and adrenaline and so on is great for mobilizing quick action in response to danger, if we're chronically in that state, it just burns out our nervous system and we're in constant state of stress, which leads to burnout and depression and anxiety and all these psychological problems that are really exploding in our culture. So, what we need is to compensate for this negativity bias. We can't, and nor do we want to get rid of anxiety and fear and so on. But what we want to do is bring our body back into a state of well-being so we're resourced next time there's a spike that requires our activation. And gratitude is that practice that can enable us to overcome this negativity bias. So in this way, gratitude is what evolution gives us, if you want to think about it that way, or God gives us the blessing to also balance out this negativity bias. But it requires work and it requires practice to rewire ourselves to pay attention to the goodness. And so, and what they say is that the adrenaline, the cortisol can spike in an instant when we're triggered, but to really flood our body with the good stuff like serotonin and dopamine and the rest to change our neurochemistry, we need to take 20, 30 seconds of marinating in the goodness. And that usually means taking at least three full deep breaths to soak that in, to let the nutrients of the experience be absorbed and start to change our neurochemistry and neuroplasticity. So in this way, we can get ourselves to program to take in the good, and that becomes a double blessing. So we can be grateful for all the good things that we have, like my morning cup of coffee or my shower and the things that I in the morning, the house that I live in, the safety, the security, the comfort. Um, so that's great. We have a lot of things to be grateful for. But I'm going to say that the very existence of gratitude is something else that we can be grateful for. That without gratitude, we can have all these good things, but if we don't appreciate it, we'd be still feeling poor. So we can have plenty of money, but if we don't realize and feel appreciative and grateful for the money that we have, then we're like poor people. So wealth is really this recognition that I have enough, that I have goodness. So so as Lao Tzu says, he who knows he has enough is rich. So we got to recognize our blessing, and that makes us rich. In another tradition from a very different place, one of the rabbis tell us who is rich, one who is satisfied with his lot. So, similar idea, what I'm trying to drive at is that gratitude and appreciating what we have is essential to make us feel content in a world that's always programming us to tell us that we're missing something, that we need more, that we're not enough. If you only had this, you'd be happy. But the reality is we can be content. And celebrate our worth and our beingness without all of that. And gratitude helps us uh, live in that state of well-being. So, as another wise person says, it's not that happiness that makes you grateful, it's gratefulness that makes you happy. So we don't need to wait, or don't we want to wait till we have all the things we want and then we'll be happy? No, we start practicing gratitude for what we already have, and that helps us get happier. And the happier we are, the more resourced we are to get the other things we want. Now, as some of you know, I have done research with so-called spiritually intelligent people that were nominated by their peers as people who walk the talk, that embody their spirituality in daily life. There were 71 people across all the world's traditions, from Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Taoism, shamanism, etc. And nearly all the people I interviewed spoke about gratitude as essential, and practicing it for the things we take for granted, like the gift of life, our bodies, running water, electricity, and also how much they enjoy expressing their appreciation for others and how it deepens their relationship. So, one thing I always recommend to my clients who are in leadership roles is to do a gratitude practice first and then also verbalize it to someone at work. So, that this could be in your romantic relationship, could be in your work environment. And so the expression of the gratitude deepens it and multiplies it. And then the other person is grateful and appreciates your expression of gratitude. So it creates this positive feedback loop, which deepens the trust and the positivity between people. Um, so let me share some quotes of what people said. And another thing they've talked about is sort of the gratitude for the hidden blessings and the difficulties we all experience. And we'll talk some more about that. And we'll use that in the exercise as well. So, Pauline, how about you read these? I think give my voice a break.
Sure, happy to. Okay, so when my first grandniece was born, I sat there and held her for 2 hours while she was sleeping, and I felt the grace and the love of our reality and the miracle of life and existence, the miracle that there is anything here at all. We take it for granted, but I often remind myself of the grace through which we receive the gift of life. And another interview subject said, when a server brings me tea, I try to be conscious of how I receive it from them, to make it a conscious interaction where the server feels gratitude for the opportunity to provide, and I feel gratitude for the opportunity to receive. It creates a moment of connection between us. And a third interview subject said, when I help less fortunate people, I try to see it as an act of gratitude for what God has given us, the extraordinary power of nature to sustain humans and other living beings in this world. The earth gives us so much abundance, and we express our gratitude by sharing it with all. Beautiful. And then there's another quote that inspired us, not from one of your interview subjects, but from
Yeah.
Brene Brown. So, what separates privilege from entitlement is gratitude. Anything you want to say about that one, Yosi?
I think it speaks for itself. If there's something you want to add, please. I'll be grateful for any further elaboration insights.
Hmm. Just reflecting on how gratitude really does shift so much of the way we perceive and the way we show up in the world.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Pauline. So far we've talked about the wisdom of counting our blessings, practicing a gratitude for that thing we can appreciate, which is good and even great. I would call this conditional gratitude. I'm grateful for because I'm grateful for my morning coffee or a house with running water or the electricity or the shower I took this morning, for all of you being here. So I can feel grateful for basic things or special things, but all of that has sort of a because. And that's fine and great, and it's great to appreciate all the details and the specifics that we have. But the issue, I'm interested in seeing if we can find sort of this unconditional gratitude that, because when there's a because, and excuse my because there is a because, then it becomes conditional. So if I'm grateful for my morning hot shower, if I'm caught in the woods and there's no hot water and no shower, then I might be feeling miserable, because I don't have the thing I'm grateful for. So now, one thing we can do is look for, and we'll talk some more about this, is can I look for gratitude in that challenge, that moment where I'm missing my shower? Maybe it's a there's a blessing there that it then helps me appreciate it when I come back home and can take my shower. So even in the difficulty, we can find something that it calls forth in us, that we can be grateful for, and that resources us actually to deal with the difficulty. But I'm going to now shift to something even more radical, which is this thing that you might call unconditional gratitude. And that would be a gratitude that has no because. It's a gratitude that exists because simply because we do, or just because. So it emerges not from getting what we like or from recognizing, but from the recognizing incredible nature of our existence. It's a feeling that arises when we pause and take the miracle of being here without needing to justify anything, our worth or whatever. When you think about it, from the Big Bang, that science tells us started uh, about 14 billion years ago, and all that hot energy and chaos, etc. We emerge, you emerge, I emerge. We have hearts that can love and can express gratitude and enjoy coffee and walk on the beach and dance and sing and make love and all these other things that we could do. We could laugh and smile and connect with human beings and have families. And I think it's pretty amazing. So just the gift of life, the gift of our being here. Why is there something rather than nothing? Um, I think that in itself is existence itself, our beingness, our being alive, as some of the research participants said, is something to be grateful for, and that is unconditional on any specifics. And so, unlike when we practice gratitude sort of normally for this or that and the other, which I'm not against, I would encourage you to do that. I do that as well. But when we realize this unconditional level of gratitude, then our gratitude experience is less fragile. It's not conditioned on anything, and it's not disrupted by stress or loss or any uncertainty. So we then appreciate our existence, our beingness, independent of our achievements, any improvement or control. And it allows us to feel resourced and grounded even when life is messy and or painful, which is in fact when we need that kind of perspective the most. So in this way, this unconditional gratitude is not just a wellness tool, but it's a profound psychological shift in which it's a way to include the pain and difficulty instead of denying them. So let's look at some unconditional gratitude statements. And so I'll read them out loud and I'll then just take a moment in silence and you could take one or more of them and just see what it's like to say them to yourself. I am grateful I am here. I'm grateful we exist together here in this moment. I am grateful for the gift of life. I'm grateful for the gift of being. So try this on and take a few breaths at the end of each or whichever statement you are resonating with. And notice what happens. And you could type into the chat uh, if you care to share. Point is, none of these things demand anything from us. And building off these statements, gratitude can serve as a recognition uh, of what's already and always is true, that your being, my being, our being here matters, completely independent of anything you do or achieve. And this unconditional gratitude is a powerful, radical practice for well-being and ultimately really unconditional love for ourselves and each other. And wouldn't that be lovely if we were in this place of unconditional love for ourselves and reality in each other? Now, when you think about it, it's like you might realize that you and I and each of us in every difficulty are part of one. There's one reality. There's nothing outside of this reality. Whether that particular thing is positive or quote unquote negative, everything belongs to this one, the miracle of being itself. And because every particular thing, including what we might desire and embrace or that which we might want to resist depends on everything around it for its existence, which then depend on the things around that for its existence, then each part really ultimately reflects the whole. So just as an example, if I'm grateful for my morning coffee, then those coffee beans grew somewhere in Guatemala or I don't know where. And there were farmers there, and so that depends on the soil and the sun and the rain and everything else. As Charles Muir said, you pick anything in the universe and you discover that it's connected to everything else. So when you go deeply into any particular thing that you're grateful for, then you realize that that is dependent on everything else being what it is, which means that we're grateful for the totality, and that totality includes the so-called unpleasant things. So this is just one way to motivate this notion of unconditional gratitude. And it's a doorway for appreciating the totality of everything. And for that, we may be grateful. So Thank you all for your attention. And we're going to move into trying to ground this experientially for all of us through an exercise. And Pauline and I will explain and demo this, and then you will be um, encouraged, if you're so willing, to join one of the breakout rooms and do this practice with someone else who's here. So we're social beings and we support each other in community, and it's fun to meet and interact. So I hope you will stick around and see what happens out of that exchange. Usually people walk away feeling energized, supported, open-hearted, and the rest of it.
Yes, usually people come back with lots of smiles after the breakouts. Shall we share the exercise and demo it, Yosi?
Please, please, yes.
Okay. And for anyone watching the recording, you're always welcome to do this as a journaling exercise or with a partner or friend who you're with. So to begin, each person will have about a minute to introduce yourselves. And you don't have to worry about keeping track of time because Yosi's voice will come through into the breakouts to let us know when it's time to switch to the next person or to the next step in the exercise. And then we'll go into describing a challenge or a difficulty that you're facing. Also noticing what happens in your body, in your felt sense or your energy as you talk about this challenge or difficulty. So do you want to start with that, Yosi, and demo a little bit?
Okay, you want me to talk about a challenge? Yeah, so you're just to elaborate on what Pauline said, you'll take turns. One person will describe their challenge, the other person is just a witness holding space. So my challenge these days is I'm feeling stretched thin, even though there's lots of exciting things that are going on at work and so many good opportunities to bring this work to the world between the research we're doing with couples and some of the writings and what have you. So I'm feeling stretched and that's causing some stress and I'm noticing a tightening in my chest and my breathing as I talk about it. Yeah.
Thank you. Was there more? Sorry, I was pretending it was time to switch.
No, it's good. That's great.
Okay. So Yosi's voice will come on and say it's time to switch to the second person. And so my challenge or difficulty is I have a pretty good living situation right now, one that feels really good. And I know that's coming to an end next spring or summer. So I'm already feeling nervous about that. Just speaking about it, I feel my shoulders sort of tightening and hunching up a little bit. I feel less connected to my feet and a trembling in my belly.
Thank you.
And then we'll move into our
Yeah,
looping
just one
gratitude.
other comment here. So as you see, you're just holding space. You're not trying to comfort the person. You're not saying anything like, "Oh, I've had the same thing," or all of which is great and empathic and in social situations. I encourage you to do that. But here we're just holding space and being witness. And you'll get a chance to interact further. So, but just to be clear, kind of here.
Good point. Yeah, this is more of like a meditative listening and sharing than a conversation. So into the looping gratitude. So we'll be taking turns alternating this sentence stem. Something I am grateful for is. And then the next person says thank you and begins with the same sentence stem. Would you like to start?
Sure. Something I'm grateful for right now is I'm looking out the window and I see the sun shining and the crisp, fresh air and the trees outside.
Thank you. Something I'm grateful for is that I feel warm, even though it's cold outside.
Thank you. Something I'm grateful for is I feel kind of a subtle joy and a smile on my face. I don't exactly know what it's about, but I'm just grateful for feeling it.
Thank you. Something I'm grateful for is the support and love from my friends and family.
Thank you. Something I'm grateful for is your support in this undertaking we're engaged in.
Thank you.
Okay,
Something
so
I'm
so you get the idea. It's a looping gratitude practice, and you'll do that for 5 minutes. I mean, we can go on. This is great, but
No, that was perfect because that's what happens in the breakout. Yosi's voice comes on and you might get interrupted. You can finish the one that you're on, but Yosi's voice will let us know when it's time to move on. And the next step, taking a moment to explore how you feel after doing these 5 minutes of speaking to what you're grateful for. So we can continue with you going first if you'd like.
okay. Well, I feel my breathing flowing more smoothly. I feel this smile that I mentioned. There's kind of a lighthearted joy, and my mood's lighter and more joyful.
Thank you. Time to switch.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a sense of joy. It feels like a buoyant feeling in my body where I feel, yeah, some lightness, openness, and warmth in my chest, a sense of spaciousness.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go back. Oh no, this is not that step. Okay, so now we're going to consider a past challenge or difficulty, not the one we talked about earlier. Something that turned out to be a hidden blessing in disguise.
Okay, should I go first?
Hmm.
Okay, well, a huge challenge, difficulty that I had was when I had my awakening experience that threw me into this manic episode while I was the CEO of a public company that then led it to getting pushed out of my company, which was a big loss and trauma. And so that was a very difficult period of time following that. But it really got me to re-examine my values and change the direction of my life, which led me to do this work I'm doing these days. I'm so happy to be doing that.
Thank you. I am thinking of a time when I was asked to move out of where I was living, and that led me to have some inspiration or some extra motivation to ask if I could move in with someone who I actually wanted to live with. And they said yes, and this led to a beautiful relationship, and that turned out to be a blessing. I learned so much about myself just through moving towards what I was like longing for, what I desired, spurred by something that was a difficult moment.
Beautiful.
And now we're going to go back to that initial challenge or difficulty that we spoke of before the gratitude shares. Ask yourself, what does dealing with this difficulty call forth or invite me to develop within myself? And might you be grateful for this opportunity? Go ahead, Yossi.
Okay, geez, you're putting me on the spot here. Um, okay. Um, hmm. So the challenge I was talking about is feeling stretched and sometimes overwhelmed with all the things I'm trying to do. And the opportunity in this is to really double down, so to speak, on my self-care practices and setting boundaries about my time and what I say yes to, and developing greater discernment about what's a true, authentic yes that is sustainable. And I think that's a discipline and a practice of self-care and boundary setting around my time, and um, is an important development stage for me. And so I'm feeling less overwhelmed by the challenge, and I'm kind of like almost seeing it as a game. Okay, well, I'm going to play this challenging game. Let's see how I do. And I have an intention of how to play it. And I know I may not be that perfect at it, and I'll probably slip and get overcommitted, but then I'll come back to my intention, and that's going to be a useful practice.
Hmm. Thank you. And for me, I feel more, yeah, this sense of play almost, where I get to choose how I am responding to this challenge and seeing it as an opportunity to to step into more of my truth and also my trust in life, that when I follow my heart's desires, it will lead to something that is a more full expression of myself. There might be challenges, there might be setbacks, but just that developing that capacity to really step into what I'm moved towards feels like a great opportunity to develop. Okay, so then the final step for our dyad is a monologue. So each person will get about 3 or 4 minutes just to talk on these themes or whatever you want to share, really. But the suggested themes are: what is your relationship to gratitude? Do you have a gratitude practice or do you intend to start one? And have you experienced difficulty with some misfortune that turned out to reveal hidden blessings later? Which is like recapping what we've been talking about, but feel free to dive more fully into that. All right. Do you want me to share first this time?
Um,
And we'll keep it short for the sake of the demo, but just
okay, sure.
yeah, okay. I do not have a gratitude practice. I have really enjoyed practicing this with you, Yosi, yesterday and also doing it today. So I'm finding that there is palpable physiological benefits to doing this type of practice, and I'm really motivated to continue and to even like set aside time with friends to do this intentionally.
Sweet. Okay. My relationship to gratitude, yeah, I have gratitude practice. Actually, the first thing upon waking up, I do a Jewish practice, which is, oh, thank you for the gift of this new day. So the first words out of my mouth is thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Then later, part of my prayer practice, I have a gratitude practice in the morning for some basic things in my life, my family, my children, lots of things that friends, relationships, spiritual teachers, all the people and things in my life. That I'm grateful for. It's useful to remind myself. And then when I get to bed at the end of the day, I recount my day and what I'm grateful for. So I try and weave gratitude um, in, but I've been slipping recently. Like at the end of the day, sometimes I play an extra game of chess, and by the time I get to bed, I'm so tired. And So I fall asleep in the midst of my gratitude practice, which is not a bad way to fall asleep. But I'd like to finish it and recount the day. Part of that is looking at what was the most difficult moment today and what might be the hidden blessing in that. But of late, I've not been getting to that stage because I have fallen asleep before. So, which is a good way to fall asleep. But anyway.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that sounds like a nice way to fall asleep, but I hear your intention to more fully complete that practice.
Which requires discipline earlier, so I get to bed not so exhausted.
Yeah. So before I talk more about like the practical details of the timing for this and if you're available or not to participate, I just am curious if anyone has any questions on the format of the exercise itself. Feel free to unmute or type into the chat.
Raise your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries if you have to head out. Um, okay, so then I'm going to pause our recording and we'll see everyone who's watching the replay after the breakouts.
So yeah, just a reminder, your face won't appear, and
Yes, so I can always read out any comments if you don't want your voice on the recording, but we are back from the breakouts and would love to hear what that experience was like for everyone.
you have comments, questions, sharing, all is welcome.
I can share. Yeah, so my practice with Jeanine was very inspiring. When she mentioned something she's grateful of, remind me of something I didn't think of being grateful for, like being healthy, being supported by family. Like I'm just taking them for granted. Um, Also, one of the powerful things that she has a practice every day to write down three things has gratitude for, and I that reminds me I write things down, but it's a to-do list. So I'm going to turn it into a list of gratitudes.
Yeah, one of
Um,
the things there could be you're grateful for your to-do list that keeps you on track.
Grounded, yeah. But I also realize there's a lot of self-critic going on with myself. And I do write thank you cards to my friends and my family, but I should write one for myself from time to time as well.
Okay. What would be something you can write that you're grateful to yourself for today?
I think that I joined this session again. I showed up. I talked about my gratitudes. I was open to the learning, to the inspirations everyone brings. And I think I feel a little bit more brave.
Okay, so what do you notice now that you share some appreciation and gratitude for yourself?
That my shoulder relaxed a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I have more smile, a
Uh-huh.
bigger smile, and my heart is filled with more warmth.
Wow, okay. So you're noticing your heart is warm, your shoulders relax, you have a bigger smile. And now I see a bigger smile yet. More
Yeah,
radiance, more radiance, more light
thank you.
coming through.
Thanks to you and Pauline.
Well, thanks to you and everybody that showed up. Thank you, the one and only one that you and I and every one of us are a part of.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share? Can share?
I'll share. It was really nice speaking to someone like-minded and just being a part of this like-minded community of individuals that think along these lines, because I think the world could use a lot more of these individuals. And I just can't express enough, enough gratitude for being here. So thank you very much, Yosi. And
Yeah.
Ava, it was very nice to meet you. And I think that you're going to do great things. I know that you're going to do great things.
Yeah, thanks for that sharing. So it's important to notice that the energy that gets created and the resonance. So, as you said, it's great to have like-minded people. Science tells us now that we have mirror neurons, and when we're in the environment of someone that experiences gratitude or joy or whatever it is, it affects us. And, it's like two musical instruments, and one vibrates in one frequency. It evokes that frequency in each other. And when you get the resonance, they harmonize and multiply. So we need each other and we need this kind of support. And it's self-reinforcing. So I'm glad you're feeling it. It's not just a theory.
I want to share this because this is such a wonderful gift that I had with Sherry. And because we were in our little group together. And it's kind of like a miracle because she looks so much like my best friend, who um, who died of breast cancer 20 years ago. No, more than that now. It was in 1999. And she was my best friend. And she looks just like Sherry. It's amazing. So amazing. I mean, it's like I'm talking to Diane. And then after that, um, it was just like a miracle. And I just feel like that it gave me the I'm trying to write a book on redeeming loss, because I lost my brother too that same year. And that was just kind of like the the gift to get me going, to go say I've got a lot of the things I've written, but to really get serious about staying focused on it, not just doing it here and there and whatever, because it's hard to write that stuff. But anyway, I just feel like I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah, so it was a synchronistic miracle and then gave you some energy and motivation to do something that's not easy, to write about your losses, which I imagine brings up, the losses and the grief and
Know why I'm feeling a little shy to express this, but thank you, Yosi and Pauline, for the format. I don't take much time to do this, and I should. Well, don't like to say should, but it would be a good idea to do things like this more often. I really appreciate the format, that there was a lot of listening and thinking and just taking time to be thoughtful. And I noticed that there was a pattern when we talked about the cycle of, I would say what I was grateful for and then thank you. When I came back, it started with I was grateful for my health, and then it was my family, and then it was the arts. And so my circle kept getting bigger. And I really like recognizing that. And I don't know, I mean, I don't have practice of gratefulness, of gratitude, but I do a lot of things that if I just did them with that intention, that would be a practice. And so I think I will add that intention to my morning walk.
Hmm. Yeah, beautiful. So the circle of gratitude got bigger and bigger. What's that like? You went like that with your hands. Can you feel into that?
Oh, yeah, I just felt like I started very internally with things I was grateful for that were internal, and then it developed bigger and larger to
Yeah, yeah. So feel
all,
that. Feel
all
this.
encompassing. The
Feel
one,
feel this motion, and what's your chest like when you feel this?
a lot of light in there.
A lot of light in there. Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the light you shine and bring.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm healthy, and I can do these things. Grateful for that too.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? What are you all noticing in the space right now? Just being here together in the silence.
That it's okay.
It's okay. Things are okay.
And it's okay to sit in silence sometimes
Uh-huh.
because the energy is still there.
Uh-huh.
It carries with you.
Uh-huh.
You just got to hold on to it.
Yeah. Well, see if you could just allow yourself to feel the energy. How would you describe the energy?
Almost kind of like adrenaline, but in a calming way.
Mm-hmm.
It's energetic, but it's also calming. So it's I guess a leveling of emotions where um, I don't feel any negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't thinking about anything negative, or I'm just right here, right now.
Right here, right now. So there's energy, there's a vibrancy, aliveness, but it's calm.
The word that comes to mind for me is loving kindness.
Mm.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah. There's a softness, perhaps a soft heart quality of loving kindness.
It's rare to see compassion, especially from strangers these days. So this is very refreshing.
The refreshing compassion, loving kindness. What other words coming up for anybody? What does the space feel like?
Love
Love. Okay. There's that word, love.
has a much different meaning to me now.
Hmm. Say more.
Um, the conditions that humans tend to put on the word and the very word itself, the limitations of the
Hmm.
word
Mm-hmm.
and the attachment to that emotion with the conditions can easily turn into the opposite of love.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start attaching yourself to ideas um, and thoughts and you can easily pivot back to, the dark, if you will, or the
Mm-hmm.
negative.
Yeah.
Um, and I've just, it has been, my life has been exponentially better when I'm leading from my heart. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not easy all the time, because people think, life is challenging. But it's so much more energy is
Mm-hmm.
wasted and used on negative thoughts, and um, nothing good comes out of that ever.
Yeah, and as you said, that negativity is not here now. So what's here now is this compassion and loving kindness and love. And what's in the heart now? What's in the back of the heart now?
A deeper understanding
Mm-hmm.
of the true meaning of everything,
Mm-hmm.
which all for me points to one emotion, and that's love. And I think the rest of it's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, it's precious right now.
It is.
There's a certain sense of preciousness in the midst of the silence. It's kind of mysterious. It's alive and quiet and mysterious. Dare I say sacred?
I mean, since you're with, I think, all women, it's definitely divine.
Okay, I like that. I'll take the divine. I'll take being with all women. Okay. I'm
I
glad
used
I,
to
huh?
I used to hide my emotions behind sarcasm, so sometimes it slips out every once in a while.
I like it. I got a good laugh. Uh, any other words come up for anybody about what's present for you or what you sense in the field, in the group field, in the space in and around us and between us?
I really like how you put a non-conditional before gratitude, and it's a very important insight that without talking about the conditions of gratitude, there's always a condition and strings attached. And now, if you just consciously take it out, it's easy. It's like it should have been like that in the
Mhm.
beginning. Somehow we attach all kinds of conditions to gratitude, to love, and you look for that everywhere. And it's actually in yourself.
Yeah, leaves us dissatisfied and at war with reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no strings attached.
Yeah, and you do need to be able to have the eye and the heart to appreciate everything around you, everything you already have,
Hmm.
without setting all the conditions. Yeah.
Yeah. The eyes and the heart are the eyes of the heart.
I like that.
Yeah. Open the eyes and open the heart.
I didn't know my heart had eyes, but I think it has doors.
Has doors. Does it have windows?
I've only thought of it, the doors.
Okay. So what happens when you step in through the door of the heart?
Well, I never lock the doors.
Uh-huh.
People can
Okay.
always come in.
Bu- uh-huh.
Um, but I'm
People
careful.
can come in, and can you step in through that door or out or
I think I'm already in.
okay, you're
But
already in. And what's it like in there?
I haven't thought about that. It's safe and warm.
Safe and warm right there now. Uh-huh. Cozy. It's
Mhm.
cozy in that room of the heart. Yeah.
So I
Then
guess there are eyes in the heart, but they're my own.
yeah,
Mhm.
your own inner eyes. Yeah. I thought someone mentioned they saw light in the heart.
I had a lot of light in my chest. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you saw that with your inner eyes, I
Mhm.
assume. It wasn't like you have X-ray eyes that look through your clothes and skin and
No, I was looking out.
yeah,
Out.
okay. So you have eyes inside in the heart, in the chest.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a good prelude to our next event.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel the sacredness. I'm glad you brought that word in earlier, Yossi, because I was going to say preciousness that I feel just hearing everyone shares. I feel so much gratitude just seeing the smiles and hearing the reflections. And yeah, the quality of sacredness, which leads us to the theme of our next gathering. So we'll be meeting on December 12th, 12/12, on the theme of sacredness, a little earlier than other months, just because the holiday travel season takes up some time. But we would love to be with you and share in this sacredness, this preciousness of being alive together. Do you want to say more, Yossi?
Hmm. I don't have anything to say beyond what was already said here. I think, yeah, I mean, our life is a sacred hero's journey of our soul as it's trying to express our potential in itself. It's a hero's journey. And we believe, I think, most of us, I would imagine, in the sanctity of human life. And so, how can we imbue that awareness into our daily life, into what we consider mundane? How can we find the sacred in the mundane, the magic in the ordinary? That that would be my interest to explore. I don't know, but anybody else cares to find the magic of the ordinary or the precious sacredness of what we think of as ordinary. and discover, rediscover the preciousness, the sacredness of our lives and every life. Maybe if we realize and live that, there'd be more peace in the world and less violence. So, if you care about any of that, maybe you can help us in this collective effort journey we're on. So, hope to see you there.
Yes, I would love to be together again in a few weeks with everyone.
See you there. See you here.
Can I just say something? Yosi, I took your spiritual intelligence is it an assessment? Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, on the Intelligency website. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. Um, and it was very interesting. So if anybody is interested, you should do it. It's very, very compelling evidence.
Did you do the short one or the one?
I just did the short one at first. Yeah. Because I just want
Yeah,
to
it's
get an
free.
idea.
And it's free, which is also nice.
Well, yes. That was also very nice, very kind.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling right now in my area of business, and I listened to you speak regarding AI, and that's what prompted me, no pun intended there, to go down this path, and that's how I found you. So
I see. So you heard my talk at the Humanities team on AI with the soul. Okay. Well, I'm glad somebody heard me.
oh yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you.
And about your book.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you'll do the exercises and you might find them helpful.
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else before we bring this to a close, and wish you all a great weekend and a great week if you're celebrating, honoring Thanksgiving, whether it involves a turkey or no turkey or whatever. I hope you'll feast on what nourishes your body and your soul.
I just want to say I'm inspired to bring this practice to my Thanksgiving gathering and go around the table and do something very similar to what we did today with the
Oh yeah,
session stem. Yes.
Yes.
mandatory.
What was that?
I said it's going to be mandatory at my table.
Okay. You're hosting?
No.
Okay. But you'll still make it mandatory. Good. I like that. Take charge. Be a spiritually intelligent leader.
I'm trying.
Great.
I am.
There you go. That was a good reframe. All right. Thank you. And we'll see you. Appreciate you all.
Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone. And thank you, Jeanine.
Thanks, Eva. It was very nice to meet you.
The same. Gonna start my journal of gratitude.
Good. Let me be your first.
Yes.
And I'm kidding.
It's happening.
I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and thank you very much again, Yosi and Pauline, very much.
Yeah.
So great to meet you. Yes.
Great holiday.